Back here on ESPN Plus, first intermission at Houston Fieldhouse, 3-1. Colgate leading RPI in the 46th annual Big Red Freakout. Welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here in Troy. Always a pleasure to be joined by the 19th president here at Rensselaer, Dr. Marty Schmidt, class of '81. Dr. Schmidt, how are you, sir?
Doing well, Dan. Doing well.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. I can tell it's a big game when we get to speak with you. So always a pleasure. We just finished up the alumni festivities on the ice here at Houston Fieldhouse. So just a thought on the Big Red Freakout and kind of what that means to the community every year.
Well, I think it's a great tradition, really great tradition, and it's a tradition that actually started my first year at RPI. So for me to come back, after 46 of them or 45 of them and experience it, and the turnout's phenomenal. A lot of energy in the building, really terrific. And honestly, the returning alumni in the program, gotten a chance to talk with a lot of them, really terrific.
I think you mentioned it to me before. It's Freakout number 1, 2, 3, 45, and 46 so far.
That's pretty much true. Yeah.
Getting the bookends here for the Freakout.
Yeah.
But you're now through your first full calendar year as president here at RPI. So compared to expectation, how are things on your end, and where do you see the institute as it currently sits?
You know what I like to say to people, Dan, is that when I was approached about this position, I wasn't sure that I was the right person for the job. Still not sure about that, but I also wasn't sure where the university needed to go. I decided to apply for the position because I felt like there are tremendous opportunities for RPI. A year and a half in, I can say with confidence that I underestimated the opportunities.
Wow.
Now, I may have underestimated the challenges as well, but on balance, I think it's a great thing. I think the next decade's going to be a transformative decade for this university, and just thrilled to be at the helm.
Very excited to see what that next decade brings, quite honestly, given where we are now. You also come about at a very exciting time with the bicentennial now upon us. So what are some of the things that alumni and current students can expect besides a great flavor of ice cream at Stewart Shops?
Yeah, have you tried it?
I haven't had the chance. I wrote a story about it, but I haven't made my way over to try it yet.
It's vanilla with cherry and with Pop Rocks.
Okay.
I was a little worried about what would happen if they exploded in my mouth. It turns out if you eat it fast, they don't go off.
Okay, there you go.
So
it's a little bit different effect than the brain freeze you normally
There you
get.
go. There you go. So
okay.
that's really terrific. No, I mean the early part of the year, what we're really focused on is gathering stories. There's a booth down here. People are invited to go into it, talk about their first at RPI. What was their first experience of RPI, something they remember. Because I really think it's important at this moment to capture all those memories about RPI and what makes it special. And then we're going to roll into the future. We're going to start thinking about the quantum computer, ribbon cutting in April. We've got events planned around the reunion that I think will be great, reflections, but also think about where we want to go. I mentioned this morning in the broadcast that we're going to have, I think it's in October, an event we're calling Ferris Wheeler's Day Off. So I think that's good. I don't even know what it's going to be, but I like the name.
Starting off on the right foot for it, I can tell you that.
There you go. Yeah.
Can you take credit for the name, or was that?
No, I've got much smarter people than me doing that.
Okay, fair. Well, on the topic of athletics as well, and we just spoke about the freakout. So when it comes to those steps forward for the institution, like you were talking about, what role does athletics in programs like men's and women's hockey play in all of that?
Well, it's so important. I think it's the number I've been told is 80% of our students participate in either intramural, club, or varsity sports. So obviously athletics is a big part of living at RPI as a student. Events like this I think are great in terms of building community spirit, so it's wonderful to see. So I think it's a very important thing, and we really want to see these programs go to the next level in terms of performance. I think it's possible. That's a lot of the conversation I've been having with the alumni. How do we keep going? How do we keep the momentum going? How do we get another banner up there?
There you go. Absolutely. And then you can add another right on top of that if you get the chance. But on that topic, too, before we let you go, because you've been so generous with your time, I have to have you put your fan hat on. What have you seen from the group through 20 minutes here in the Freakout?
Well, I wish the third goal hadn't gone in.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were reviewing it. But I think I was happy to see them put one in the net right after the first goal. Hopefully they're coming into the second period with a power play. Power play, penalty kill have been a bit of the Achilles heel for the team. They've turned it around, I think. So fingers crossed we'll get a goal early on. that kind of thing early in the period can really change the momentum. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Man, well, you are welcome in the booth to take my job anytime off of that. But
No, because you know what it is? It's the old joke about a face for radio and a voice for newspaper. So I don't think you want me up here.
Well, we certainly do either way. Always a pleasure to get to catch up, and thank you for the time today.
Thanks, Dan. It's great to see you.
He is Dr. Martin Schmidt, the president here at RPI. We're through one period of play here in the 46th annual Big Red Freakout. It's 3-1, Colgate leading RPI. We will step aside here on ESPN Plus and be back with more right after this. You're watching Engineers Hockey on ESPN Plus.